Well, good evening, folks, and welcome to the channel. Today we are on our way to the Tokyo 600. We are in a new car. This is one of the cars that is from the race. It normally features being driven by Mr. Cookabun, and it's white. This version we have is blue. It seems to be a drift car, and it drives like a drift car. It is all over the place. So the setup we're going to look at today is my attempt at making this a race car. So it comes in at 599.93 pp and it's got 472 brake horsepower. It seems pretty low. It is. It's very limited on its options, but we've gone hard tyres, fully customizable suspension, which is default. There is very little you can buy this car. Fully customizable diff, which again is default. You can adjust anything you like, folks. I've left it standard. You can see the body height is quite low because that's what the car is, but all these are default as it comes. Downforce, you can't choose to put a front wing on it. That is set at 150. The rear is massive. We've got it maximized out at 550 to give us downforce on the rear to give it grip. ECU fully customizable output at 100, and we're running 12 pounds of ballast, 12 kilogram of ballast, which is about 24 pound. Power restriction is on 92, and we've got that weight at -5. That's to the front. The transmission we're actually going to run at 310. I've just given it a 2-lap test run and it hasn't got the legs. I'm not very confident about this car, folks. Turbo high RPM, there's only two options, high or ultra high. Anti-lag we're not running. Intercooler racing. Air cleaner racing. Silencer racing, there's no manifold option. Brake system racing, slotted discs. Brake pads racing. Brake controller, I think, well, we'll see where we need to put that through the race. We have no other options available, and we've increased the body. We've installed the body rigidity. We've put a high racing rear wing on it just to give us the maximum available downforce. You can't put any different wheels on it. You can, but I haven't put any different wheels on it. They're standard wheels, standard width. Can't put side skirts on it or anything like that. It's all fixed. There's nothing you can do, and that's the beast. She's a beaut, but let's see how she goes. And here we are at the track. If you've been following the series along, we've gradually gone from a basic car all the way through to an engine swap that will allow us to win the race. Every car we've featured wins the race. They've also set pretty decent lap times, and we've graded them roughly with a bit of chat about how good they are, whether they're a sub 27 car, whether they're capable of being a sub 27 car, whether they win the race, whether they get a decent lap time. We're looking for 208s, 207s, 206s. Anything outside of that, they're not what we call excellent cars, but they're capable of winning the race. And that's what really matters, what we're looking for at the grind, making the grind much easier, much more enjoyable. A lot of people have got stuck in this race and hate it to death because they've run the tomahawk round it thousands of laps as fast as they possibly can. I'm trying to find a way of enjoying the grind. So here we go, 12 laps. Settings for the race today will be assists. Traction control 1, default ABS, everything else off except for counter steer assistance, which we've got on strong. Try and run it without, folks, but as I've told you, it's a drift car. It likes to get sideways. If you want to do this with style and drift your way around, as long as you still win, it's all good. Don't forget, we've got to win that race bonus. So we've done the car settings. We can come out of that. Controller settings. Force feedback max torque 5 and force feedback sensitivity 6. They're my default settings. They're what I race with. If I'm running a G29, which hasn't got the greatest amount of feel, but that gives me enough. So, are we ready? We can see this car, Amemiya. Oh, Mr. Cookabun's racing it. His is white. It's the Amemiya FD3S RX7. Should we give it a whirl? We're going to put fuel map on. Now it's rear wheel drive car, so I expect the rears to take a bit of a hammering, but ultimately probably the fronts might under braking. We need them to turn in, so we'll see where we are when we'll go for there. As you can see, the boys in front are as fast as we are. We need their slipstream to pass, and we want clean race bonus, so we're not going to try and mix it up with these boys. We need to be as fast as we can down this straight. We're going to look to brake on the 200, maybe just after. See if we get up the inside of Mr. Conomos. We don't, but we do. She likes to slide, as we say. I'm going to try short shifting a little bit, couple of laps, just to get us to a point where we can stretch the fuel as much as possible. If we're good on tyre wear, we are going to try and stretch this. Clean race bonus is important, folks. As part of the grinding process, you want as much money for your time as you can get, but we are going to enjoy this. I've been spending a lot of money on cars and upgrades, and I've not been benefiting from the grind as much as you can if you find the car that's going to make your racing time enjoyable. What I want you to do, folks, is to get the most out of the game and enjoy it as much as possible. You can race through this game in 3 weeks, 42 hours of playtime, and you can be done and finished. That's the record I've seen from somebody, 42 hours playtime. And are you going to enjoy the game? Probably. You're going to be able to concentrate on other things, but for me, oh, that's it. That's the end of the clean race bonus, I think. I didn't expect Mr. Cookerbun, our teammate, to cut across our nose, but we'll have to see. We'll have to see if that kills it. What I would like to say to you folks is, if you actually see this video, it's because it's won, and at this point in time I'm not 100% sure it can. So we're going to get roughly 8 laps out of this thing, so that'll mean 4 laps, 3 flying laps at the end, which might be good to try and set a decent lap time. Brand new tyres, low fuel. The rears are taking the hammering, so brake balance we're going to go to the front. That might help us stop a bit. As you can see, we're not catching Mr. Blazan in front, but we are ahead of Mr. Beauvoir, which is always a good thing. And I think I'll be using Mr. Beauvoir's car, the AMG GT, next time out. I did win one on the lottery on the daily ticket the other day, if you saw that video. So that might just be the one that we use. We shall see. We're now going to chase these guys down. This is going to be a one-stopper, as you can tell from the lap count at the bottom there of fuel remaining. So with that one stop, I think we'll change tyres to try and get a decent lap in. But we are much quicker through the twisties than these boys. But you put your foot on the brake and she likes to slide through, so you've got to brake early in this cookie. That's us past Mr. Blazan. Mr. Cookerbun running the high wing as well. We're not going to push him wide, but he hits the wall. We slide with him. And we get nudged by Mr. Cookerbun into the wall. We get hit by Mr. Blazan, so that's definitely the end of the clean race bonus. We've got to use that Porsche as well yet. There's a few we haven't used. We've used the Supra, we've used the well, we haven't used the WRX, we've used the 22B. 5 seconds up, so that'll put us in the 2:16 range for our first flying lap. We've had worse, I believe. A 2:29 opening lap isn't fantastic, but where are we? Gallows out in first place, Mr. Suswillow second, Hizal third, Frager and Cookerbun fighting for it in front. Hook Cookerbun just slips into the slipstream. We're in 6th place, that was a 2:17.354. Blazan 7th, Beauvoir 8th. Mr. Suswillow holds the fastest lap at 2:14. Well, at 2:14 that's not a massive challenge, but in this car, can we find 3 seconds? We'd have to find 9 seconds a lap to compare it to other cars we've driven. I will tell you this, it's quite controllable with the counter steer on. I anticipate catching Cookerbun down here. 4th gear, get the power in as they drift through that puddle. Down to 3rd. Get on the power early, we can catch the boys here. Do we put ourselves in trouble and attempt an overtake here? We can put ourselves alongside, we're not going to though. Up the inside of the Supra is a treat, beautifully done. And that puts them in trouble behind. Braking into the corner, trail braking through it. Don't hit the wall. We've had to slow up, the drift comes. We've probably lost that half a second through there, maybe, don't know. Gonna brake just before the 150. So I did get a warning from somebody that this car is not everything it should be. But we're trying to make of it what we will. We're 1.6 seconds up on our time, so that'll drop us down to a 2:15. I don't think this will be a 27 car. Gallo takes the fastest lap to a 2:13. We're up to 4th, but there's a potential here we're going to lose that to Mr. Cookabun. Unless he's not got the legs, he'll have the same gearbox as us. So he won't. We're going to try and take a little bit of speed here. He's not got the gear. We're just outlegging him down here. So we're going to brake just after the 200. Can probably go a little bit deeper. I'm going to brake on the 150 next time round. And the question is, do we go all the way to end of lap 6? Or do we go all the way to the end of lap 8? Do we try and gain track position and pit alongside Gallo at his second pit stop? Because then the race is on between us and Gallo, because look at the lap time he's put in, a 2:13.7. We need a clean lap to get anywhere near there. I've had to throttle hesitate just to get around Mr. Hizal. Better through there, much cleaner. Chasing down Mr. Suswillow now. We're in 3rd place, just 10 seconds behind Gallo. Behind us, there's a little bit of fight between Hizal and Cookabun. We're half a second up, so that should see us maybe touching the 2:14s if we can. I don't think we'll pick up any draft here, so end of lap 4. We're chasing Gallo and Suswillow. We're at 12 seconds down. There's a 2:13, so that was significantly faster, 1.9 seconds. The lighter the car, the better. So tyres are looking really, really decent. It might help to run this car longer and less fuel, and then we'll have less fuel for the last 3 laps. That might be the benefit. So here we come, back down to it, just 2/10 down. We did clip the curb just there. See if we can make that 2/10 up with a flawless run through here. 4th early, drive the car out. 3.7 seconds behind Suswillow. Let's see if we can just catch him up without sliding through and hitting the wall. That's finally done, down to 2.7. Again, this car seems like it's a car that you can just ease through the corner with a bit of brake. A little bit of counter steer required. .6 seconds behind Mr. Suswillow. Can we get the benefit of a draft of him? Let's see if we can catch him under braking. We're running deep. We've done just well enough, but he's got more grip out the corner than we have. I had to release the brake and I couldn't get the car to turn quickly, so that's lost us a second through there when we were quicker. Not to worry, Gallo has now gone to the pits. So we'll now gauge where we are as he pulls up. We'll see when he takes fuel. That'll mean tyres changed and fuel going in. There you go, fuel starts to go in. So he's dropped way down the field. We're 2 seconds behind Suswillow. We have the opportunity to catch him. We're going to do 3 more laps. So that'll be 6, 7 and 8. We're going to stop at the end of lap 8. Did say I'd brake on the 150 and we did. There's the slide and the drift that happens in this car. Yeah, it looks like we can go long here because the tyres are in decent nick. It's a question of whether we need to save the tyres or change the tyres. I'm thinking halfway through the race we don't need to change tyres. Getting in front of him was key there. We are 0.3 down. Everyone else will pit when we go to lap 8, so let's just have a rundown of where we are on positions when we come out of this final corner. Going to brake just before the 150. Give us a little bit of chance to get on and off the brakes and maybe trail braking that bit more effectively. Keep the foot on the brakes, get the car around it. There it is. Getting the tar to turn is key. So here we are in first place on lap 6. Just behind our lap. Our fastest lap is a 2:13.690. Fastest lap of the race so far is a 2:13.291 by Mr. Gallo. We lead Suswillow by 1.95 seconds, and that time is dropping. Cookabun is in third, he's out fourth. Fraga fifth. Cookabun's gone to the pits. Blazen's sixth. Takeda in seventh, and Mr. Beauvoir in eighth. So Takeda has gone to the pits. We've also got to do Takeda's car. We haven't done that yet, which is the Supra. So the last lap was a 2:14.4, which best part of 0.8 slower than our best so far, and that's not down to tyres. That's down to just clipping walls and not being as good as we could. There we go, we're up to 0.23293. Struggling to read now. Heavily on the brakes there. Probably a bit slower through there than we were. Let's see if we can make a little bit of time. Keep it in fourth gear. There we go, back on the gas after. Let the car coast through, then back on the juice. We've made up masses of time there. Going through that corner slightly differently. A little bit slow there. I felt the car was going to wash out, but let's see if we can get it back. On the gas early, slide the car. There we go. 6.4 seconds ahead of Suswillow now. Car's coming to its own with much lighter fuel load. Brake on the 160. Keep some of the brake on to get the car around the corner. The slowest corner is the worst corner in this car, but with 0.7 up. which I don't think it will see us in the fastest lap. It might do. If this car gets the fastest lap of the race, that'll be stunning. Forgive me. 1.2. We got enough fuel, so we're going to do this lap here, and I'm expecting to see. There we go. 2:12.979. That's us with the fastest lap. The rest of the crew are now going to the pits, so that'll see Gallo come through and take his place, I think. There we go. That's Suswillow, Hizal, Fraga all gone to the pits. Larzan to the pits. Hayward and Beauvoir. So as per the process, Gallo will now come through, take up second place, and he's some 22 seconds behind. Now, like me, you will probably be a little bit blown away by just over the opening laps just how seemingly slow this car is. But when you actually get behind the wheel and drive it, it's actually very fun. It's a really drivable, controllable car, and it's quick. You've just got to, and it's probably actually a really apt tuned car for this type of race, where the first 2 laps you've got to take it easy, get through, get around, get past the AI cars that are going to nudge and bump you and take away that clean race bonus. Now, I believe I was successful in negotiating the AI cars and doing it properly. But as this car gets its laps done, it becomes very drivable, very controllable, very, very smooth in process. So we're now going to make our way to the pits. We are 22 seconds ahead and holding our own. It's not a shy car, this at all. And what I'm kind of anticipating is we will go to the pits. We should come out somewhere alongside or behind Gallo. We're not going to change tyres, or are we going to change tyres? For what it's worth, let's change the tyres. That left rear is probably looking like it can do with some help. We are going to take 9, 10, 11, 12, 4.2 laps of fuel. We're going to change to hards. We're going to take 4.2 laps of fuel. Let's repeat that. Here she is. Really is quite a slow fill up. Here we go. There goes Gallo. He still hasn't set the fastest lap. Cookabun's come in, so our teammate for the day. There's his headlights in the rear. Now we know Gallo's got to stop one more time. One more time. There we go. Mr. Cookabun has taken second place, as we were quoting song lyrics, and you have to sing them when you know the lyrics. You guys are going to hate me for doing that. Nobody's actually made a comment on it, whether I should retire my singing voice. But here we go. Let's give Mr. Cookabun something to race for. Now, it could be a race to the end between us and Cookabun. You never know. We could be trying to race that guy down. We know we're faster than him on the straight. Don't hit the wall. That's not what you do. Now the tyres are a little bit slick again. I want to go up the right hand side of him. That car tries to drift on him, doesn't it? There we go. So we are 5.2 seconds behind Gallo. Not 100% sure when he's going to take to the pits. Now his gearing might be different to ours. He's just getting to pull away on us. So This is our opening out lap from the pits. We're not going to get a time to really compare. Gallo's gone to the pits now, so it is. The race is between us and Cookerman. And this should be a damn good one to finish. He's just got away from us there, and we need to get back in front of him. We've got enough fuel to get to the end. Mr. Cookerbun has just put in the fastest lap at 2:11.330, so that gives you an indication of where we've got to be. We get all the squeals from the gearbox, we get the warning buzzer and everything. So we got to chase this boy down now. He is the danger. Oh, I could start with more lyrics there. Let's catch this boy. We're on the fastest lap we've ever done, but we're not purple. Let's see if we can get him. Like I said, you might never see this video. We're not going to bottle it this time. We're going to close the door on him. We're going to use every bit of racecraft we've got to get ahead. And that's us up in the front, in the lead. Now we've got to watch out for Gallo coming past, but we've just got 2 laps to go. And we've got to get digged in and away. We're up on our time, but we're not near a fastest lap yet. We've got to watch out for Cookerbun coming at us. He will get our slipstream. It feels like he's got the speed, the overspeed. I'm just going to go over and close his door. I'm not going to give him the opportunity. 2:12.802, so that's our fastest lap. It's not rapido, that fastest lap. As his lights go off, he gives up trying to make the pass at this point of the race. He's coming on our right hand side, but we're going to brake later, I believe, on the 150. He's up our inside, but he's giving it up. Mr. Solace goes to the pits. As we drift it across the circuit, he is right with us. And it looks like we've got free air between him and us now. We're just giving the car its head, letting it slide, touching the walls where we can without losing too much. We've bust out a 1.5 second gap. We're not holding it though, he's coming back at us. Coming round to start the final run for the full length of the straight. Got it out to 2.2, I saw it then. 1.3 of fuel remaining. Have we got enough? I would suggest we have. Our lead is 1.4 seconds and falling. Gallo is in third, but we can't see where he is. I can see him on the map. I would guess he's too far back to make any inroads. 1 second back to Mr. Cookerbun. Is this car good enough to win the race, or is it the driver? I don't think this car has got the legs on a good day. But as a grinder, it's a good one. If it wins it, it's certainly good enough. And if you can handle it without the counter steer, you could really get some drifting fun, I would suggest. Just pulsing the throttle there as we cut into the corner. We're still a tenth off our fastest. It looks like, and it feels like, we're up on our fastest lap time. That's exactly what I was going to say. The car is performing very, very well for what it's capable of. It would be nice to set a personal fastest lap as we finish the race. So currently 12.802. I actually pulsed the brakes on the 200 but got out of it and got back in them. Oh dear, that's blown that fastest lap chance. Yeah, by 0.6 of a second. But we are 4 seconds clear. We've got 0.3 on the fuel left to go. And there we have it. We're going to win the race ahead of Kuckerman, followed by Gallo, Saswillo, Fraga, Blazan, Beauvoir and Hizal. But I haven't seen the faster lap time. There's no way that's a 26. But it wins the race, folks, which is very, very critical when you come into grinding. If you want to own all these cars, Kuckerman got the fastest lap at 2:11.3. And it was a 27.33, possibly 1 minute slower. But there's still time, I reckon, for me to get a pee and a cup of tea or a pee and a glass of Coke to get back to this and run that again twice in the hour. It's worthwhile throwing this into your armoury. Look at that, both Armenias right at the top, Amemiya at the top of the table, both winning the race, some 15 seconds ahead of Gallo and having the whole field trailing behind us. But there she is. It's up to you folks whether you want to use it. I think it's a good little car. I was surprised that it won, but it got better with every lap. You can make up your own mind. Let me know what you think. We'll see you on the next one, folks. All the best. Take care. Ta-ra. Did we get the clean race bonus? No. We knew that, though. 23 mil. Happy days. 4-star ticket. Can't complain. I bloody can. He says.